Hi Sagittarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for February 2014, and as the month kicks off, the Sun is in a very chatty area. It's quite busy mentally, this area here. It's sociable. You could be meeting and greeting more and connecting with others over the wires. Maybe there's more paperwork, maybe you're sharing more with others what you know, which is one of your things, but also listening and hearing the feedback, hearing from others. So you'll probably have more on your mind, running around more mentally, physically, and getting your head around things. Travel is also highlighted. There's an unusual scenario with the planets at the moment, in so far as even the faster moving inner planets are kind of sticking in the same areas. So all of the signs are going to have the areas that the planets are in highlighted, and for you we've got Venus in a very long transit of Capricorn, the sign after yours, and Mars is also in a long transit, which is a few signs before yours. But even Mercury this month is sluggishly retrograding between Pisces and Aquarius. So with Mercury, and always with the retrograde, things slow down. We all of us just have to take things a little bit more slowly, because something can be subject to delay or misunderstanding. So take a step back, contemplate more, don't fight against it, go with the flow, and take time to refine something, cross the I's, dot the T's, resolve any questions, because that's the nature of the Mercury retrograde. And then from the 28th onwards, Mercury will merrily start rolling forwards again. So until the 13th, Mercury is in Pisces, which is in a strong angle to your sun sign, and that means that discussions and ideas and correspondence could revolve around or be with family members, extended family, tribe, neighbors, and could be even about the physical space, property matters, points on the map, that kind of thing. And you could be mulling things over. This is quite a sensitive area. You could be pondering and thinking more deeply. Anyway, even if Mercury wasn't going retrograde, you could be, there could be connections with those from the past, a blast from the past. There could be more connection with parents, for some of you, and you could be considering or just pondering the past, history, traditions, a legacy of some kind. So whichever way around it is, it tends to be a more busy time for you in a more emotional kind of way, in these areas, at home, around HQ, from home, over the wires, during that period there. And then from the 13th, Mercury goes into the same area as the Sun was in from the beginning of the month to the 19th. So they share the space for about 6 days, from the 13th to the 19th, when the Sun moves. But Mercury is going to be in there for the rest of the month. This is a very chatty area, kind of more your thing, to do with perhaps gathering or sharing information, increasing interchanges through speaking, writing, and maybe more paperwork, maybe more time, on the phone, over the wires. Great time for making connections and learning new stuff, and also teaching stuff as well. Now Mercury does go over the degree, or rather Saturn and Mercury share the same degrees between the 18th and the 22nd, so that might slow things down, things weigh more heavily on your mind. You've got to be more serious about communications there, and people skills as well, working harder at maybe paperwork. Yes, the Sun. The Sun then moves from the 19th and then puts the focus where Mercury was from the beginning of the month, right at the base of your chart, and so has you the base of operations, or family matters or property matters, being a real key feature there, thinking about a space maybe inside or outside, and turning your gaze a little bit more inwards, pondering things. So really the Mercury and the Sun are kind of swapping places there, and really does carry those two themes, the chatty theme and the more inward theme, forwards across the whole of February. Venus, as I say, is in this, continues her long transit of Capricorn and will be there until early March. So for you, Venus is in an area concerning basic stuff like money, property, possessions, and resources of various kinds. So overall, it means with Venus here, you can do okay in that regard, and even better if you team up with someone maybe, and you pool resources, and also it would help if you kind of know what you want and can manifest that, or you can work on manifesting it anyway. And this transit does also favor financial negotiations. It tends to improve your people skills, and anything like buying, selling, renting, leasing tends to go in your favor. It tends to, all other things considered, and also where Venus is in your natal chart as well at the moment. But if you were to be applying for funding or wanting to make an investment, then it would be a good idea to do it under this transit, as long as you're sensible and don't take a wild risk, because you can be a bit of a gambler at times, Sagittarius. But also connecting with those people who can give your who can help you feel the piggy bank, you know, who can help you to capitalize on an asset, and that asset might be your own inborn talent. And you can find a way, or somebody shows appreciation for that style that you have with something, and they offer you the chance to expand upon that in some way and develop it. So this Venus transit is good for all of that kind of materialistic side of life. And this is a good time for making improvements to what you own already, or getting your hands on new stuff. Helps you to, in the health area as well, maybe with what you're putting through your body, like with the resources that are going through your body, you know, water, air, food, any medications, anything like that. And it tends to help to balance things out. Venus is the great balancer. So physically, if you've been out of balance, or maybe somebody around you, then this Venus transit can help here. And any conflict, inner conflict or outer conflict with somebody else that you've had over possessions or property matters, can tend to be harmonized, can tend to be evened out with this long Venus transit here. Now Mars is in a very good angle to your sun sign in this incredibly long transit. Until next July, Mars is in this very progressive area for you of your solar chart, and meaning that you'll tend to be the initiator, and others will look to you to be more the initiator with ideas, plans, projects. Also more likely to have you get more involved with groups of people, a collective of people, or be working in some area where it's got the interests of many other people or the common good in mind. Mars can be a bit pushy, and you have been known to be a bit clumsy, so just be wary of this, because you don't want others to feel as though you are ignoring or unaware of their feelings or their ideas and running roughshod over them. There can be tensions between you and another member of the group, or indeed a friend, because this is an area to do with friendships as well. Due to certain others, life can become more demanding, more taxing, or just annoying, and you've just got to come at it more in a motivating way, an assertive way, a decisive way, but just don't be hasty and you know, trip over your own shoelaces, and definitely don't allow others to tire you out, because friends, you know, trying to spread yourself too thin because of friendships, group associations, connections of various kinds, or the project that's been shelved maybe for a long time, which finally, because this is another thing about this area here, you can blow the dust off that and really get the ball rolling with it. something that maybe you thought you'd never get around to, or you'd never get an offer on, or whatever it's about. These sorts of things can start to move forward. So in general, a phase to think about the future, start moving forwards towards the future, and always be ready to expect the unexpected, the unusual, you know, the ball that comes in from left field along the way. But you're flexible, you can do that, you can adapt. Now for you early Saggies, yet again I'm going to nag at you about Neptune. Those of you born the 25th to the 28th of November, or with 3 to 6 degrees rising, are going to feel it the most, but it will cover the whole sign in lessening degrees as we go out from those degrees. So for you earlier Sagittarians, but also for the whole of the sign, Neptune is affecting your sun, making certain things unclear, putting you in a bit of a puddle of illusion or confusion. So during this time here, get a second opinion and try to see the wood for the trees. Maybe you need help to do that. Also, another thing about this area here is you tend to put yourself out more for other people. You tend to be more the support. You tend to be the one that's holding the whole thing up from underneath. And okay, so there are times in life we do that, but please don't make yourself a martyr. This transit will be great for any of you RT Sagittarians, or those of you involved in spirituality, meditation, yoga and the like. Any imaginative area at all, and any area where you're serving some kind of higher cause, higher good. Yeah, charities, anything like that, and anything to do with the water as well, like boating, catering even, you know. So yeah, so just be aware that it's a great time for you to be there as a support and an enabler, but don't overdo it. And it's also a great time for you yourself to develop yourself through imagination, through spirituality, through things like meditation, yoga, etc. Right, now your ruling planet until next July will be putting an emphasis onto your joint financial area. 2 money cards coming up with very beneficial energies in them for you at the moment, Sagittarius. So work it, make hay while the sun shines. Materially, your life could improve and grow and expand through the contribution or the teaming up with key associations, yeah, and definitely through a partnership. So it might be, you know, that your partner is doing not too badly, and so that you can somehow or other benefit through that, or indeed it can be like a business connection that you have, professional connection that you have, that can help you. It can help you feel the piggy bank, can help you take the next step in getting the incomings and the outgoings, and just balance the books, really. So this, in general, this transit here can mean that more money in possessions, money or possessions or property, doing better with a property deal, anything like that, it can be coming your way, tends to want to come your way. But of course you've got to put yourself in the mindset or in the situations to allow it to come your way, because Jupiter likes to think big. It doesn't know how to do details at all, and of course the devil is in the detail, we know this, but you know, think bigger about what you're capable of, how far you can push it without being, you know, unrealistic, of course. Because Jupiter and also Venus up until March is trying to deliver this to you. It may be a different financial strategy or setup, becomes a useful resource or improves your income, and it may be some kind of moral debt, because this is the area of debts as well. So it can be some kind of moral debt or financial debt that gets settled, and that can be from you or it can be to you. And you Sagittarians born between the 1st and the 5th of December, or with 9 to 13 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month, but it will cover the whole of the sign. Okay, so now I should have mentioned from mid-January throughout the whole of February, Jupiter is opposite to Pluto. So avoid the pitfall of obsessing too narrowly about an idea or conviction or an expectation, because you're likely to run up against others who are trying to, or you feel they're trying to, or they do have more control over that and are trying to manipulate things in their way. And because of that, you've got to scrutinize your motivating factor or your value on this, and try to modify your position or work around the thing, or be sneakier or smarter or whatever it is, to get it the way you'd like it to be. But the thing about Pluto is Pluto tends to want to deliver to us when we've been brave enough to let go of something. And once you let go of something, then Pluto, being the planet of rebirth, allows something else to grow, maybe in a slightly different way to what you pictured originally. So that's something to watch out for there. From late January to the end of the first week of February, a relationship could broaden your horizons, or you could broaden somebody else's horizon. I think probably it'll go both ways. That's quite a nice one there. In some ways, the current position of Saturn is preparing you for when Saturn comes into your sign in, actually it's going to be Christmas Eve 2014. So you may have to be doing more inner work. You probably will have noticed this, just beavering away at things, and maybe in a cloistered little bubble with others behind the scenes, working quite hard there, taking on more than they realize, having to deal more than they realize, providing more of a service to others who, just don't get how much you are putting yourself out there for them. But another thing about this area here is that you have to take your own inner needs, your own spiritual needs, your own project, if it's an imaginative project, or any kind of creative project behind the scenes, more seriously, and being more dogged and stubborn about finding the space when, the clamor, shutting the door, and putting a note on the door, I'm not in, go away, or indeed out of the body in meditation, or whatever it is, So anyway, you get the feeling of this. This is an area which is demanding more from you in a selfless kind of a way, and of course that will be going outwards, but also you have to engineer the spaces and the places for yourself to feed yourself, because if you're running low on juice, if your battery's flat as a pancake, you ain't going to be much help to others, are you? So there we go. And then you Sagittarians born between the 13th to the 16th of December, with 21 to 24 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most. And that's it for February. If you want to know what the other outer planets are doing and how they may be affecting your sign, you can find that written up on a website it might still be under the stars for 2014, but it'll be there anyway, refreshed and updated. And also, if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, you might like to listen to the forecast for those, and it'll just kind of expand on or contract on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.